Well, greetings and welcome to another edition of ReThink
Uncut.
Yay! I'm Havilah Malone.
And I'm Regina Carver again. So glad to be here.
ReThink Uncut, where we question life from different points of view.
This girl is on fire!
So we are entering into the month of February of 2016. You know, a lot of great things I'm sure have already happened for you this year as you stepped into this new year. And of course, a lot of people have things that they want to accomplish throughout the year. And how are you doing with getting those goals accomplished? Like, are things really moving forward, or are you having a little, difficulty, or like the plan that you had, it wasn't really working, and now you're trying to figure out what's next?
Yeah.
So if that is the case, I would say if it is the case for you, then we have a really powerful tool that can help you to get your goals accomplished. And the host of this show and author of this book, How Will I Achieve My Goals?
One thing I love to talk about.
6 simple steps to proven success. It's only 6 steps. I know, it makes it like super simple, super easy, just for you.
So you finally read it.
Yes, I did. You saw at the end of the year, it was on my reading list, of my books to read. And I finally read it and I was like, all right, now. People need to get their hands on this as a tool, because as we'll go through those 6 simple steps, it's all about the effort you put forward, and it's broken down into a formula that you can't lose. Like, you literally cannot lose.
Yeah, and that's the 6 steps. Really, it's that word effort. It's really connecting with what you want in that first step, and just being clear on that and getting clarification on what exactly do I want. And, that exercise in the beginning about stepping into your goal, you know what you want, but to step in it and just feel yourself being there. I came across this quote. I wrote it down because I was scared I was going to screw it up. And it's, joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything is possible. And that's by Doreen Virtue. And just infusing the thoughts around your goal can really make you feel like anything's possible from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about like really using your power of visualization.
Oh, yeah.
Step into that. And
to step into that and know what it feels like. Mm-hmm. And to really establish, is this right for me? Does it feel right? And then that step 2 is, does it fit? Because if it feels right to run a marathon, and, that step 2 is around the strategy of what you're going to do. If your strategy is simply no strategy, sitting on the couch, it's not going to fit.
Exactly. And how often is that people stray? Like, okay, I know what it is that I want to accomplish, but then I don't really have a plan to be able to make that thing happen. So then you become stagnant, or then you lose, you lose that passion that you had around it, because you feel like it can't happen or it won't happen. But if you step into step number 2 right here, then you fit.
Come up with some things that can support what you do, because the more you make an effort, it gives you confidence that it is something you can accomplish. Mm-hmm. And if you look like throughout the book, you'll see that after every step there's an opportunity to really think about making adjustments. Just because you're on a certain path or you have a certain goal in mind doesn't mean it's not going to change along the way. So really giving yourself flexibility throughout. So yes, you may come up with a strategy, plan, but it may not always work out that way. And then the next F is it fulfilling? Is it something you want? Is it something somebody else said, you should do?
How often are we
Mhm.
living for other people?
Mhm.
You know, we
Mhm.
stepping into their dreams or their goals, or I think you gave the example about either like being a doctor, like is it
Yeah.
because your mom wanted you to be a doctor? Or
Yeah, doing these things because somebody else wants you to do it. That's not to say that you won't accomplish the goal, but how will it feel to actually come to realize that goal and be unhappy and to live this life that you're not happy in because the goal just wasn't even fulfilling. And then the other thing about is it fulfilling is you're going to stick to it better if it's something that's fulfilling for you.
Mhm.
It's easier. You can see it. You're happier, trying to even do it, having a sense of, wow, this is for me.
Mhm.
And also, is it fulfilling in the sense that somebody else is going to benefit from it as well?
Absolutely.
Gives it even more of a reason too that, oh, it's not just for me, somebody else will benefit from this too. I know I feel good knowing that, okay, I can write this book, but I pray that somebody else will benefit from it too.
Mhm. And when we look at that acronym of effort and that fourth step, which is around that O or observe, as you
Uh,
like to talk about here in chapter 4, you said nothing happens for you until you think the thought, take the action, and
mhm.
make the effort. Like
That's
nothing will happen.
right. Because, yeah, we can sit, think about, write down things and all that, but what about what you actually do? It's this thing with what do you actually do, which can get you out of that stuck mode. If it was somebody that's depressed and doesn't feel like getting out of bed, the effort could be simply sitting up. At some point, you have to do something. Something has to be done. So after reading, oh, so many self improvement books and feeling inspired, sometimes I will come away with the feeling that, but what do I do?
Mm.
But what do I do now?
And you
So,
share that story, and you've shared it with me before about Rudine.
oh, yeah.
To share that, with the audience, because that just so epitomizes
Mhm.
why the how is so important.
Yeah, I talk about Rudine in the intro of the book, and she was a guest on Oprah Winfrey's show years ago, and she had anorexia nervosa, and I remember the actress Tracy Gold being on the show, and she was someone that had recovered from the illness, and she was telling her, you can get through this, you can get through this, and it stuck in my mind. You can go on YouTube and see the interview, but Rudine sat there. She looked to be 50 pounds, I mean, just skin and bones, and she's saying, but how? She's that just made such an impression on me that we all sometimes get to a place where I really want to do this, but how? How? And she has since passed away, but just that innocent question, how?
Mm.
And she's almost on the verge of passing away and still wanting to know how. But then you're right, that step 4 is to observe what you're doing, which sometimes it can be scary to look at what you're doing, but at least you know which way to turn. Okay, maybe I could do more here. Maybe I need to do less. Or maybe your effort is just to sit and relax, to regroup even. But
Be able to
observing,
some things.
rethink some things, right? But observing really gives you the opportunity to think, which way can I go? Am I on the right track? To know exactly where you stand will give you a sense of where you can go from there.
And then you step into the step 5, which is about the results and being able
Mhm.
to measure those results in a
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
tangible way so that you know that you're moving in the right direction.
Right. To even know you're moving in the right direction, is it starting to look like the result you had in mind through all the adjustments and all the flexibility that you exhibited throughout the whole journey of it all. And then, of course, that step 6 is the time limit, that not to be on that wheel going around and around, but just giving yourself a time limit could be motivation, knowing that, oh, that date is coming up, I better do this or that. But even to get to that date and still know that, okay, did I get there in this much time? What is it that I could have done different? Which way do I need to go now? Because you don't want to look years down the line and you're still like, oh, I wanted that degree. Give it a time limit.
Mhm.
So you have some point in time, that event on that day, to review. Did you get there? If you didn't, review why you didn't. But by all means, you can use these goals that you accomplish as confidence and just a blueprint to what you can do to achieve more goals,
Yeah.
to celebrate what has happened. That is so great. And yes, along the way, there may be instances where you have some limiting beliefs about some things that may be a hindrance to your goal. So there's some ideas in the book on how to get over some of the obstacles in
Yes.
the way. In the way, yeah.
And
Hmm.
I love because you actually talk about in the book, you pose this question. And that question was, did you know that your real riches are the ideas you're blessed to have, and you decide to make an effort to bring them to life?
Yeah, that.
Each and every one of us has like brilliant ideas. We're sparked with inspiration. We're sparked with something. And it's like that guiding force saying, go in this direction, do this thing. And it's like, will you decide? Because it's a decision that you make to
Mhm.
make an effort
Yeah.
to move forward and make it happen.
Yes.
And this is just the start of this conversation. And we try to keep our rethink episodes short and concise and to the point to give you information that you need. But we're coming back because we need to continue this conversation because there's so much more that's available. Well, first of all, you can go get the book so that you have it for yourself so that you can actually read it. But we're going to have a follow-up conversation about this because Regina gives you some amazing tools in this book to really help you to achieve your goals. It's a great thing to have an idea. It's a great thing to be inspired to do something, but until you put forth that effort to achieve it,
Yeah.
it's really worth.
Yeah. And can't wait to actually share some things you can do to help, because I want us all to achieve our goals, and we can do it. We definitely can do it. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, please share your comments with us below, or you can email us at rethinkuncut@gmail.com. This book, How Will I Achieve My Goals, is available on Amazon. Make sure you go and get a copy of that today. And then join us next week as we go into some concrete tips and tools on how you can achieve your goals. I'm
Yeah.
Havilah Malone.
I'm Regina Carver. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
All right.